Good morning. Well, actually, it's afternoon, but whatever. It's good morning for you. I'm sensing it.
Wow, that's some serious energy there, Joe. This is productivity and procrastination.
I'm
I'm
Joe,
James.
and he's
That's
James,
us.
and we're a couple of procrastinators looking
Schmucks.
looking good, productive.
Yeah,
Can we just call
yeah.
ourselves the Ux? Because I feel like putting schm in front of it makes it a schmo pun.
That's very interesting. So, Joe,
That's my name.
those two words go well together. So, Joe, how was your week?
It was good. Productive. I've
Oh,
been
nice.
well, not as productive as I'd like, but I've been trying to do this thing where I just work on my stuff while I'm at work.
Oh, that's
Because that is
nice.
8 hours a day that I could be dedicating to my craft, or at least partially dedicating to my craft.
Right, right. Not 100% attention, but
Yeah,
very, very nice. Yeah,
and if I
that's
can really harness that time, then I think I'm gonna see a lot of improvement very quickly. And also, I got some very sage advice from someone's drawing who I respect. I messaged him. I was like, "Hey, really like your art style. Thank you for showing it or whatever." I don't think I said that. I just said I really like your art style. Do you have any tips for on someone how to get better and that type of stuff?
hmm
And they said don't just practice for the sake of practicing. Like actually have a project you're working on, and just that way you know what you need to focus on to get better. Like what the project needs.
mm, nice.
It was good advice. So I'm working on I'm working on the Gorgon piece. I consider that a project, and
Yeah,
then I'm working on a piece for a friend, and should be pretty cool.
nice. Well, that's good. Yeah, doing the old multitasking at work is a great thing if you can do it.
And I have the time. Like, it's it's a little hard, like pulling myself back into drawing after a call or
hmm
pulling myself out of it, but it's 8 hours a day that I could be really doing stuff with, and it's like I can't seem to make time anywhere else. So there we go. We're making time there.
Yeah, it's quite amazing how unless you make the time, it just seems to be filled all the time, no matter what. I've seen
100%.
that uh, a lot lately. And well, I'm very, very happy for you. That's a good step in the right direction. And how's the new place?
So you will notice a lack of boxes behind me.
Wow, look at that.
I've moved in all my boxes, my moving boxes, except for one. I did buy some pots and pans and some like Tupperware things that I want to put away, but I haven't gotten there yet. I just got to figure out where I want to put them. And then other than that, I think I'm good to schmo. Like it's done. I do need some more like hangy things. I'd like to have more hangy things because my decorations were meant for like one room, but I've kind of spread them out throughout the house, so it's a little bare, but I'm sure it'll get there.
Nice.
So I had this old drawing. So back in the day, I did a diva piece. It was like diva in a cave, and like it was exploding, and there was goblins. It was a whole thing, and I ended up printing it, get a bunch of prints of it, and ended up, apparently, I'm gonna blame my ex for this one. Ended up framing one of them.
And so it made it through the fire then.
It made it through the fire, apparently, and but I went ahead and I only kept, because I don't like the piece because it looks like crap compared to what I can do now. And so I tossed the piece, but I kept the frame. And maybe I'll fill the frame with something that I'm proud of.
Okay. That was the opposite of what I thought you were gonna say. But
No.
okay.
Nope. Just no. It just wasn't a good piece, and I didn't feel comfortable hanging it. So
No, I would have been interested to see it because I would have maybe seen the differences already and then could show you or tell you what I saw in it. But oh well,
I can
who cares?
absolutely show you the piece.
Oh, well, yeah, be great.
Hold on. Well, how was your week, James, while I find this piece?
Well, Heather's in surgery right now.
Mm-hmm.
Been probably 5.5 hours so far in surgery. So, got a ways yet. Could be up to 10 hours or so.
Mm-hmm.
But things are going well. The collapsed lung has resolved, and
What? I had
all
not that
that.
this is the space to ask about that, but what is a collapsed lung?
it's probably as horrid as it sounds. I have no idea, and I didn't really want to look it up. I just figured
Yeah, I don't blame you.
it was what it sounds like, and to me, it sounded miserable. So, probably something akin to that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, from what I've heard, it could, things like that could be similar. Oh. Okay. I remember this piece. When you said it was Diva, I didn't remember a mech there.
Yep.
So I'm like, huh? I remember this. Yes, totally. And yes.
God, it's so bad looking at it. I'm like picking it up. Oh my God, the eyes are so off.
I think this might have been even after I mentioned lighting issues with how she wasn't lit or it wasn't. There's no deepness of the shadow, which may be around in the if there was this huge bright fireball in the background, you'd expect some kind of really
Yeah. The lack of
illuminating.
details on the back side of the cave.
Her facial expression doesn't exactly look
It's just
normal for this situation. There's
It looks-
there's a lot going on. Her stance. I know it's a rocky terrain and all that, but
her
seems like a
perspective
little
is
bit
wrong.
odd of a perspective. Yeah. Where she's standing and how she's standing relative to that ground seems a little odd. Yeah, but it was a first attempt, and it was a full picture, and it was an entire thing, and it was hard lighting. You'd have to actually do some research probably to light that right if you've never exploded anything before. So yeah, no, I hear you. I'm glad you got the frame.
Yes, I kept the frame. But yeah, I mean, it's not like I hate the piece because I understand that that's what my skill was at the time, but it's like I don't want people coming to my house thinking, oh, that's where he's at.
Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, well, that I can understand that. You want to
I mean, if I'm going to hang my own piece, which feels really self serving.
Yeah, I mean, unless you had a spot you were just actively working in and people knew that was, then it's not so odd to have
Yeah.
a few of your things up, but I can understand your mindset. I just don't want you to hate everything you do until some forward time at which, you maybe can surround yourself with something you've done. I don't know. And maybe I shouldn't care. I mean, do you want to do with your own pieces, but I'm proud of the steps that you've taken. And so, part of me wants a little of that, happiness to be there for you. And every time you're talking about your pieces being hung and stuff, it seems like you got this downtrodden face. And so I just want you to be like, hey man, you've done a lot. You deserve to, feel good about that. So don't feel like, I don't know. There's, for whatever it's worth, there you go.
All right. Yeah. I know. I totally get that. It's, I think the curse of being a visual artist maybe is that like it's such an easy medium to judge, especially as you train your eye to see mistakes in your own work. So
Yeah.
it's rough. It's rough to try and like your own stuff.
Well, maybe that's where the social media can help.
Speaking of which, I have been working on that. And I'm still in the early stages of trying to figure out how to market, but I've been practicing and trying out different things. And it's been interesting. I'm also have to start keeping some more. Once I start getting some actual numbers, I'll share some info, some Excel sheet info. Everyone loves Excel because Excel's cool. I like making spreadsheets for things.
Well, I'm glad you have that passion for it.
Well, it's fun. Like, I love categorizing information in such a way that, like, it's accessible and comparable. And then I also like adding, like, little math equations that automatically calculate things. So I'm already thinking about, like, an impressions. So, like, impressions is, like, how many people saw it or, like, looked at it, I guess. Or maybe tapped on it. Versus likes and retweets, and like see like a percentage of impressions versus interaction. That sounds so juicy.
Yeah. Sounds very familiar to me, hearing terms like that. Heather's very data oriented like that too, so she'll do that with her business a lot. And she's got like all of her competition too in that formula. So it's like great.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So obviously not a lot going on for me this week.
Yeah.
Healing, spending time with people, playing games and just trying to think about things related to that. I'm gonna have a lot more, even though I have a lot of free time anyway. I feels like I'll have more now that she'll be in hospital for a while, and I'll get a little bit more time to just kind of like look at myself under the microscope. So
Yeah.
I
I mean,
feel
it's
like
also a
this is
very
gonna be
turbulent time right now, so like I totally get.
yeah. So, but I'm I'm ready to do some work um, this week. I already have some plans, so I'll
Nice.
bust out the old laptop soon, and I have some. I have an idea. I've been mulling around, so that I've been writing in a current, like a novel I've been working on, but uh, while I was driving the other day, something just popped in my head that was like, "Ooh, yeah, I need to explore that aspect because it could be quite an interesting facet to what I'm working on that I couldn't quite haven't quite figured out." So anyway, yeah, it's been interesting, but want to get back on the old horse here, and it's been good though hearing all your changes and all that,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing seeing how that's played out. Um, so the do you have any roadmap for like maybe potentially getting some pieces printed up? Do you have any pieces that you may want printed up or you may want to digitally sell so far?
Um, I'd have to go through my art and see if there's anything that I do want to print up. There may be some like older pixel art that I would be willing to do something with, and
Mm.
then, ooh, I just got an idea. My brother likes to do bead art. Maybe I can commission
Mm.
him to, or have him make up a bunch of bead art, and then we could sell it at the thing.
Mm.
That might be fun.
Yeah, be curious to see it when it, if he does that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
maybe let me see what ones you chose.
Something to look
So
into.
has the allure of another week in the apartment changed any opinions, or have you?
It's starting to feel, now that I've like started like really unpacking and getting stuff where it goes, it's starting to really feel like home. It's starting to feel like I had this moment last night where I was like, it was like 3 in the morning, and like the wind was blowing outside, and I was cuddled up in a blanket watching TV. Like there was just like this serene moment of like coziness
Nice.
that I was really into.
Yeah, and nobody can interrupt it. Nobody's gonna
Yeah.
knock on the door and need to look at filters or anything weird. Any
Mm-hmm.
random times. It's all yours. It's
Yeah.
that's a good feeling. You know.
It is. It is. And my washer and dryer work, which is good. I got all my clothes washed and my bedding cleaned, and I was very happy about that.
Nice.
And
Nice.
it's definitely different, but I don't dislike it. I definitely like it. Like so, I used to live in a basement, a lot of different basements, and so whenever I hear footsteps upstairs, I'm like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. And then I'm slowly unlearning that, or like not in trouble, but like, oh, someone's coming, and
Nice.
I'm learning that.
That's good.
But yeah, my upstairs neighbors seem nice. Like I went to um, this place called something's cake, cake and I don't remember the name of it. It's some like bunt cake place,
Mm.
And I got him a couple bun cakes and like, oh, because we had never talked before. Well, we haven't talked yet, but I was like, thanks for being my neighbor. And then I gave me a phone number just in case, I get annoying or something. They can call me or text me. And I just left that at their door or whatever. Well, I knocked, but nobody answered, so I just left it. And then like the next day, like I had a washer sitting outside because the maintenance people were going to replace my washer with a brand new one. And they're like, oh, if you need help moving that or if you need help with that, knock on my door. And I'm like, oh, well, thank you. So
Nice.
I'm considering that we're amicable and we're happy.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, most neighbors are pretty cool when you step out and do something like that.
Yeah, I wanted to start on the right foot and make everyone. I just want to be a good neighbor, but
Nice. I wanted to do a little shout out to Waynetta.
Oh,
We talked with her on Discord a little bit last week, and wanted to say hi. It was nice getting to know you, and I liked seeing some of your stuff there.
oh yeah, those light boxes are so cool. If you guys have not seen what a light box is, you need to Google that. It's very cool.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking that maybe there's something that would interest me, something like that. I like lighting a lot,
Yeah.
actually. But when I sleep, I don't sleep with the light on. I'm like dark, but I like strategic lighting. So something like that might be like really nice in certain spots, and you always see all these people on YouTube and stuff where they got like all these LEDs and stuff in the background, and something like that would be pretty cool sitting on a shelf, I would imagine.
Yeah, it would be. I just got an idea of like putting LED lights behind me, and then and then like when I'm playing video games, I'm losing. I'm like, okay, it's time to go gamer mode.
Oh,
Alexa, turn on gamer mode, and LEDs all light up.
Red or something, That's good. I like that.
Funny. Might be funny for a stream or something.
Yeah. It's definitely.
And then just like really sell the idea that you're doing so much better, even though it's like completely the same.
Well, if not, you have maybe like a little short you can put up of your gamer mode going completely trash.
That's good. That is good.
Yeah.
Not a lot to talk about this week. I'm excited. I do want to start getting things ready for March, April, June, July. Because I think that's what I want to be doing. It's the biggest draw for me. It's like the whole being at cons and selling art that way. Sounds like a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, meeting some of the other people as a participant there's a lot of good connections to make, so you never know.
Yeah, should be fun. All right, do you want to add anything before we call it here?
Well, is there anything you've got that little piece of advice from that one artist that you talked to? Any other things that you've learned about or watched or whatnot?
Not necessarily like learned, but something else I mentioned was like you're just not going to get there. Like there's not going to be one day where you're just magically good at art. It's about working on specific things and that you need for your project. So focus project oriented, and that way you have a a defining trajectory for your learning rather than just like bouncing around learning different things.
Something that combines different elements together, and so you have real focus points. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
And then I was listening to some other advice that that said like it's hard for people to stick to one thing for a long time, and that's how you actually like, you know, get good at something, is really sticking to it.
Yeah, that's the whole perseverance thing, which you are doing. You started in pixel art, and then you moved on to other, different facets of it, but you have stuck with it, much like we have with this program here. Continued, come rain or shine, it seems, and through it all, we are in this moment. Like, we're not backed up, an episode. We don't have all these episodes waiting just in case we needed a week off. It's like, no matter what, we're here.
Yeah, we're like, it's Monday. You're listening to it on Tuesday.
Right. So it's you seeing just a glimpse of our lives and, the struggles that it takes to persevere in any craft. And it's, it's that going through and continuing mentality, and, finding that, hopefully that buddy or that, business partner or whatnot. Yeah, community of some kind. Yeah, join the Discord. Definitely like to chat. And so continuing on, despite it all, is the hardest thing. And then over the course of time, things change and you get better, and without that, the time just slips.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to have that self-reflection. You have to have that somebody else, that accountability. There's like a lot of facets, it feels like, to really be constantly productive. Like, you can work at it slowly throughout the years. Like, that's what I've done with my art, is I've, slowly worked at it throughout the years. But it's like, if I want to see real measurable progress in a short amount of time, I need to spend the hours doing it. And the only way to do that is with constant pressure, be it from self, accountability, or, having a community that's doing the same thing. Like, oh, let's go sit down and draw for a couple hours. And, yeah.
One thing that just jumped in my head was, we also do things that other people, don't do. Not that people weekly, examine themselves anyway, but twice a year, on our birthdays, we do go out, and what ends up happening is we have what seems like an entire night. We go out later. We have an entire night where the whole night seems to wrap around self-reflection a little bit to some degree. Relaxation, It all kind of comes to a head. But weekly, we do productivity and procrastination, and we have a, up to an hour or so of self-reflection each week. But when you're on an all-nighter, and you get to just dwell in that reflection for a longer period of time, every so often, it does different things. And so I guess I want to encourage listeners to maybe find that time. Maybe it can only be once a year. It's, for us, it's 2 times a year, once every 6 months or so. But to find that time where you can just dwell in that introspection for a long period of time, you see different aspects, and you get to pat yourself on the back in a different kind of a way, and it just feels like it's kind of like a vacation for yourself all at the same time. Do you have any comments on that type of a thing?
Yeah, I think it's important to make sure that you change your environment. Don't be like, oh, I'm just gonna do it and do it in the same room that I do everything else. Like, you need to change your environment, particularly someplace that you don't go, like, ever. And so, like, we've done it a couple different places. We've gone to an island, and then we've gone to a cemetery. And I mean, as creepy as that sounds, it's really well maintained. It's not like a scary cemetery. It's more like, I don't know. For me, I don't see cemeteries as scary, and maybe just because I don't have a lot of like childhood death trauma.
It's not like we're creeping around gravestones, right? And we're talking lighted paths, like nice roads, and you just walk down the road. It's really nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of trails, and or paths. I think paths is better. We just walk them, and a lot of like little monuments and all that stuff. And I think it's a good way of realizing that like we feel like we have forever, but we don't. And so make your life how you want it to be. Like, to me, that's my favorite part about it. Is it's good for reflection. Like, am I walking the path that I want to be? Am I working on the things that are important to me, or am I just placating myself?
Yeah, and most of the time we go out, it's like wilderness, more like nature. Not that any of us are kind of campers or anything, but
No.
It's as close as we can get.
Yeah.
We'll make a little fire, a lot of the times, and we'll just sit there and look at the views and reflect on everything. It's really rather nice. So yeah, if you have the opportunity to do something like that, it's a great complement to what we're talking about. Just getting out and thinking about your craft. And what naturally seems to happen is you have more of a longer term perspective all of a sudden. I don't know what it is about just having more time and thinking about it for longer, but you start to think about more of the past, and it all comes together. And most of the time you get some nice goals for yourself, and maybe look at things a little differently. So definitely think about that if you are in need of a perspective change also, or a nice refresh. Even it just feels like a nice little vacation.
Yeah, it's nice. All right. I almost did the Amazon. Is there anything else I can help you with? Nope, that's not where I'm at. Thank you for listening. This has been Productivity and Procrastination, episode 6. I regret saying an episode now, because it might be 7.
We'll maybe try to get that
think it is
episode
7.
number in the beginning next time.
Yeah. All right, goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.